There we go. Hey guys, what's going on? I love that Super Crayon, 100% natural, moisturizing lip butter. Super Crayon, really good stuff. Hope everyone's doing well tonight. I'm gonna wait a few minutes before I start because it's gonna take, I think, the notifications are going out sporadically, so it's gonna take a few minutes to get everyone in here. Hello, Angelic. I have you on the list. Trina. I don't know if you got my message. You sent 20 and I sent you a request for $5.25 because I know it sounds silly, but it's the number thing is important to me that it's $25.25. Okay, thanks. Um, Hello, James. Hello, Ravender. Hello, Rebecca again. Hello, Joni. Hello, Tiffany. I have you on the list as well. Tawny, you were on the list for last night, so we're doing you first tonight because I don't know if you didn't make it, you just couldn't make it or what happened, but you were one of the first people to pay and get on the list yesterday, and then you, I guess, just weren't able to come into the broadcast last night or whatever. No problem. I didn't forget you, so I have you at the top of my list. I'm doing some cool things tonight, guys. Please hit the like button to help the video circulate. So the way I'm doing readings tonight is going to be all Rider Waite, but with a twist. Listen up. So we're using 4 different decks. I'm going to pull one card from each deck for your questions, guys. And we're using the traditional Rider-Waite deck. And then the second card will be pulled from the before Rider-Waite, the sort of Rider-Waite before deck, like what happens right before the Rider-Waite card, the after deck for the third card, and then the New Vision Rider-Waite for the fourth card. So if you don't know what these cards are, basically the before shows you what each card, what would be happening right before what you see in the Rider-Waite deck. The after, the same thing. What would be happening right after what you see in the Rider-Waite deck. And then the New Vision is showing the deck from a different perspective. So really cool. The before deck is called Tarot One Moment Before, and it's by Corrine Kenner. The after deck is, I don't know, it just says after deck. Who's it by? By Los Scarabeo. And then the New Vision deck is also, no, it's by Pietro Aigo. Aigo. So there you have it, guys. But that's what we're going to do. So I'm pulling one card from each deck for everybody's, each question. So each question, you will have 4 cards. Unless a deck throws out 3 cards, I'll keep them. But that's the plan. And then we'll see what intuitive messages I get, from those cards. So it's going to be really cool, really exciting. Also, let me see. So the intuition's been really on fire since the full moon eclipse this past weekend. And so I feel good. That's one of the reasons why I've been really knocking it out with these readings. I'm also really into numerology. That's why the 25.25 thing for your readings. So I know it can be hard to forget because I usually charge either $20 or $25 on the nose, or 30 for something special. But the 25.25 is just a special thing to me. The number 7 is a really cool number for me. So I don't know. I just love it. So yay, Rebecca's on the list. Cannot get Cash App to work. Oh no. Okay, so Rebecca, I'm gonna check it and add you to Rebecca. Hang on one sec, guys. Wanted to see if anyone else had come in before your name, Rebecca. So I've got Tawny, Darcy, Tiffany, Angelic Healing, and Rebecca. And we're doing Cash App, guys. I also am running a special because I'm really trying to shift people in the United States to use Cash App. If you're not in the United States, you could do, you can pay in the super chat here. 25 is fine on the super chat here tonight if you have to pay on super chat, but I prefer Cash App. And I really prefer Cash App so much that I'm doing a special. If you pay via Cash App, you almost get 50% off right now on my Map of Destiny reading. I'm doing the Map of Destiny readings for $90 if you pay through Cash App. So if you send $90 on the PayPal or Super Chat, you're going to get refunded. Well, Super Chat, I don't know how I could refund you, but this is Cash App specifically, guys. Yeah, there's room for everybody tonight. I'm gonna I'm gonna try to really ramp it up, and get them all done because I just, like I said, that intuitive energy feels really strong right now for me. My moon is in Cancer, so we just had the Cancer full moon, Joan, as you know, and I think that's part of it. I just have felt, and I was really low energy, kind of in a hopeless place the past little while, and so I'm not back 100%, but being able to do what I do and feeling good about it is a big help to me. So yeah, it feels good. Okay, so I've got Joan. So right now I have these names on the list: Tawny, Darcy, Tiffany, Angelic Healing, Trina, and Rebecca and Joan. If you want to get added to the list, Cash App, it's $Ray of Light Tarot. If you're in the United States and you've never used Cash App before, the best thing to do is go ahead and download it now to your phone, mobile device, whatever. And when you register, it'll ask you if you were referred. Say yes, I was referred by $Ray of Light Tarot, all one word, and it'll give me $5 and it'll give you $5 back as well. So for doing that, so that's also a little bonus. And yeah, $90 Map of Destiny readings right now if you pay through Cash App. And that's what we're doing. And I'm integrating all of these decks into the Map of Destiny too. I started one tonight for you, Philip. If you see this, Philip, your Map of Destiny is not quite complete, but I started it. It's really cool adding in all these different versions of Rider-Waite too. It gives a new perspective on a certain part. So yeah, I love it. Yeah, KB. Hard is an understatement. I am Aaron Hupp. I paid $25.25 on Cash App. Aaron, okay. All right, so let me get started. And I'm keeping the list open for now, but just that's the thing. Those are the sort of bonuses. Oh, also, guys, I had this on earlier when I was doing some intentions and meditations. This is a beautiful mala. This is a chakra mala made by my friend Jai from Channel for Grace. Check her stuff out. It's called Eagle Star Jewelry. And if you don't already follow it, follow Channel for Grace on YouTube. Okay, she and I are going to be announcing some cool stuff that we're planning to you guys very soon that I think a lot of you will be really interested in participating in. We're super excited, and we were just talking earlier about some cool ideas. So we'll roll that out to you soon once we've had time to finalize all the plans. Anyway, Tawny, you're up. Tawny. What is your question tonight? Tawny, I'm having to use my friend's phone. Oh, it's Karen. I don't know why I didn't look at the name. Karen. Gotcha, Karen. You just donated again tonight for a second question, Karen? I know we did you late last night. Or were you talking about something else? Tawny, what's your question tonight? And that's fine, guys. Anyone who wants to do a follow-up question, even if you did a question last night, a lot of times when you do a question, you get a reading. The next, people have follow-up questions. So like Karen, if she just paid for a follow-up question, that's fine. I understand. I did a reading for her at the end of last night, and she may need to follow up. Oh, just like a love reading, kind of lost. Just had a miscarriage on Saturday and haven't talked to the dad since. Not sure what's next. Okay, I'm so sorry to hear that. That's unimaginably painful, I'm sure. Okay. What messages do you have for Tawny regarding love? Yeah, Karen, I can do your reading. What I was asking is this a follow-up to the reading we did for you last night? Do you have a follow-up question? Is that what this is? What messages do you have for Tawny regarding love? Also, by the way, Karen, I think you're already on a delay. You may want to move out and come back in. Everybody may want to do that because I think some of you are on delay based on what I'm saying and what comments I'm seeing. Spirit, what messages do you have for Tawny regarding love? Thank you. What messages do you have for Tawny regarding love? What does Tawny need to know regarding love? Wow. Okay. Interesting stuff. So the two cards came out from the traditional Rider-Waite, which definitely describe your situation right now. You've got the Tower and the Three of Swords. So I think, understanding what you're going through right now, Tawny, is specifically, something Spirit's correlating to you and trying to express to you also that there's a shared grief between you and somebody else. I mean, there are two people falling out of this tower, not one, and there's three swords in this heart. So although you may not be in communication with the father of the baby, I think, and it's certainly not the same loss for anyone else as it is for the person who was carrying the child, there is a shared sense of grief in this. At least that's what is coming across in the cards. It's also a feeling of just sort of confusion. This feels like a lot of confusion and a lot of things happening all at once that are almost making it impossible to communicate. I think even if you two were in a committed, happy relationship right now, living under the same roof, might not be communication right now because of the feeling that I get here. So just be aware that that's sort of what is being sort of communicated right now. There's a combination of this feeling of royalty, pampered, being offered the world on a platter, on a silver platter, and this energy of just like destruction and a hurricane coming through. So it's very interesting, this combination of energies right now in the present. From the Before Tarot, you've got the Nine of Pentacles. So the Before Tarot is talking to you about sort of really taking the time to move back to a place where you're focusing on yourself more than anything else and on what's important to you. This is the Nine of Pentacles, and it's just really important for you to really heal by focusing on yourself. Right now, doing for other people, including the father of the child, anyone else besides yourself is not going to give you what you need. Even if you're someone who feels good, as we all sometimes do, from helping or doing for the people that we love, right now you're really being almost ordered by Spirit to focus inward, focus on your happiness. What makes you happy? What things make you feel good about life, and what are the things that you've left on the shelf or in that warming oven that you need to pull back out and go after and pay attention to? Okay, that's really important for you to do right now, and it's going to be a big part of your healing, because in the After Tarot, you've got the Nine of Cups, and then also if you look at the Eight of Cups here, it's a little different. So the Nine of Cups and the Eight of Cups. The Nine of Cups is always, in all these, it's going to be that wish card, or the card that represents like a wish coming true or wish fulfillment. The Eight of Cups is a little different. It's talking about your wish coming true has something more to do with a love in your past that's not maybe something you had thought was going to work out, or maybe right now you don't think is going to work out, but it's something from the past that you're going to come back to when the time is right, and then it's going to really open up in a really beautiful way. Because you see that person is drinking from the cup. The moon is looking at them. There's this communication between that person and the moon that's very happy and very knowing. And they're also filling up the cup. So it's preparing for that wish to be able to come true, to be granted. Part of preparation for you is in actually filling those cups up. How do those cups get full? You can't pour from an empty cup. Your cup is empty right now. That's why you're being called to focus on this Nine of Pentacles energy for yourself. And then the New Perspective Tarot, you also got the Eight of Cups, which is really interesting. And, when you look at it from this perspective, this person's not just walking away from those 8 cups and walking toward the full moon. They're walking toward a full, quiet moon and away from a lot of celebration. So there's a real sort of exclamation mark on the fact that those 8 cups were not nothing. You know, this wasn't just something to, whatever, I'm moving on. This was special. And it was really something that felt good. However, it's not enough. All those fireworks and all of that passion and all of that excitement and happiness at times, it's not, you don't want to get on that roller coaster ride anymore. You want something that feels steady and stable and more of like, a sailboat, and this is what you're moving toward because that's where that all that emotion in that full moon is being held in a beautiful way. And that's what you're being advised to move toward, and like a magnet you're being pulled toward. Even this horrific experience is going to be used to bring you to that, Tawny. Okay, it's all leading you on the quickest path to your destiny because it's time. You're in the Dharma, you're going for it. So it's really exciting, and I really wish you the best. I'm so sorry for your loss, and I just would tell you, feel it. The only way, sometimes the only way, to get through it is to get through it, to go through it. The only way to the end is to go through it. You have to go through this, but you're gonna see really nice things along the way, and it's gonna feel, I think, a lot better as you do and as you go toward that place. So just remember that it's never as bad as it feels. Sometimes it's worse, but it's not always as bad as it feels, and it's about to get a lot better. You've got beautiful things coming, so just keep that in mind. Okay. Oops. Good luck, Tawny. Take care of yourself right now more than anything. Darcy, what is your question? Hi, Miss Deline Farmer. Is Karen still here? Karen, did you? I think Karen maybe missed seeing her reading last night. If you hear me, Karen, if you thought you were, if you were talking about the reading you paid for last night, I actually did it. It's at the end of almost at the very end of my last night's live reading that I did. They're still up. You're doing an amazing job. Well, thank you, Deline. I appreciate that. Stamp of approval. You're welcome, Tawny. Okay, Darcy, what's your question? Is Darcy here? If Darcy has had to leave, when she comes back, we'll get to her. I'm going to give her a sec. But if Darcy's not here, the next one is Tiffany and then Angelic Healing. So you guys want to have your questions ready as well to just, we like to pop them up there so we keep it moving. And the list is open. If anyone wants to get on the list, it's $25.25, preferably made to Cash App, $RayofLightTarot. Okay, let's move on to Tiffany. I guess Darcy had to go. Tiffany, what is your question? No, it's Karen who was using the phone of Aaron, but I just did a reading for Karen last night at the very end of the minis, but she was having issues because she was on a delay, so I don't even know if she actually heard the reading. So I don't know if she thinks she missed her reading last night. That's what I was trying to ask her. Was she paying for a follow-up, or did she just think she didn't get a reading? Because if she didn't think she got it, it's on there. She just needs to go back and watch. It's at the end of last night's video. She threw her question up and I did the reading. Okay, Tiffany, okay. Current and future energies with Cameron. Spirit, thank you. Show me the current and future energies between Tiffany and Cameron, please. If Darcy comes back in, guys, let me know. We had to skip over her. Or if anyone can contact her, let her know. Let her know we're, waiting for her. Oh, we want. Tiffany and Cameron. Okay. So this connection is there's some toxicity in this connection, Tiffany. Yes. So Karen, there is a lag because you need to go out and come back in. There's not actually a lag. It's just that you're on a delay because you somehow got behind. Maybe when I went and checked something and came back, that may have done it. But what you want to do is refresh your screen or leave and come back, and there won't be a lag. No, Karen, you have to let me know, Karen. Never mind. I'll leave that for now. All right. So I don't know if Karen is talking about a new question or if she's talking about the reading she paid for last night, but you need to let me know, Karen, because if you're talking about last night's reading, that's already done. You may have missed it because of the lag, but if you go back and watch last night's video, you'll see it at the very end. Okay, Tiffany, back to Tiffany. Guys, hold comments, questions, and everything else for in-between readings because I get, as you can see, ADD, easily distracted, and then I get frustrated and I get irritable. Okay, so the thing, Tiffany, is there's a lot of toxicity in this connection, too. That's one of the other things that was kind of irritating me as I was connecting to it. There's too much deception right now. There needs to be a clearing of energies. You're being called right now in the present to be the Queen of Swords in this connection. So if you guys are in communication, you need to really hold a hard line for, welcome, new subs, snow on the Sahara. Cool. You need to hold a hard line, Tiffany, right? For this person to treat you properly. If you're not in communication, there's a reason, and that's okay. Doesn't mean this connection can't have a future. It looks like there is a future for this connection, but a lot's got to change. The before tarot shows this person basically, I'm sorry, the before tarot shows this person basically drinking the 4 cups that cause them to be disconnected, unwilling to see things clearly, and even a little bit disinterested. The after tarot shows the 7 of Swords, which shows them being deceptive, deceiving you, and it means that they're walking right into that deception even further. So this is not good. Guys, please hold comments until in between readings, which will be in just a moment. If you guys can just hold it for just a moment. Okay, Aaron. Got it. I was confused. Valerie had it right. I was confused. Guys, please hold the comments until... See, we can't do both. I can't right now. Tonight's not a good night for that. Okay, 8 of Wands. Thank you so much, All Natural. Okay, so with the 8 of Wands is sort of this is the card from the New Vision Tarot, and what it represents really is the outcome. It's saying communication is the key to this. There's a lot of this stuff happened in this connection, Tiffany, because there wasn't communication, okay? There wasn't communication, and that's a problem, okay? Not to say that this person would be squeaky clean, Mr. Honest, you know, if there was communication, but that's a big factor in this. And communication, you standing up for what you need from the start, is going to keep you from having to get upset and then get into the Queen of Swords energy. You will feel justified in everything you do and say from the start, and there won't be any built up resistance. So just know, you know, that's the issue. That's sort of part of it for you. This person, Cameron, has really got to straighten out their act, because it may not be intentional, and there's definitely love here. There's a lot of feelings here, because this represents someone being bored and someone not willing to see something clearly, but what they're not wanting to see is the strong spiritual connection that's there, okay? So that's very important. And outcome, it's all about communication. So be tough, be strong, and be willing to cut out what's not serving you. But there is going to be some better days ahead for this connection when there's good communication. Okay, now I am at the end of this reading, so now we can communicate, guys, for a minute. So guys, here's what happens. If you're on a delay, I understand you may not realize that you're interrupting the reading, but if a lot of you are on a delay. So when you hear me saying this, leave the reading and come back, which means literally exit out and then come back, because you're behind, you're lagging. And so it causes the communication to be off, and we don't want that. Okay, so Karen, which is actually Aaron, I understand now. And I think that's what Valerie was trying to tell me. Got it. Aaron, I've got you on the list, but we've got a few people ahead of you. Welcome to the new subscriber. And yeah, we'll get to everything else. So as far as basically the energy that I connect to with this, Tiffany, you've got some resentment and frustration here. Some of it you may not even be truly connected to because it goes really deep. Honest communication is going to help so much in this. Okay, Tiffany? Just be aware of that. And I don't think anyone's being intentionally dishonest, but a lot of this is coming from not sticking up, not being honest about your feelings, not expressing what you desire, what you deserve, what you feel. And when you don't do that, a lot of miscommunication can happen, misunderstandings about expectations, boundaries, etc. Okay? So it's really important to get that all straightened out. Is Darcy back? If Darcy is not back, we're going to go next to Angelic Healing. Trina, you are up. And I don't think she's back. So let's hold comments except for Trina. Hi, Jason. Just would like an update on this divine journey with my DM and myself. No communication still. I'm something with it. I'm O with it. Thank you. Okay. I'm okay with it. Oh, gotcha. Okay. What's the current energy between Trina and her twin? Divine, yeah, twin soul, divine masculine. What are the energies there and what's happening in this connection, Spirit? Thank you. Magician. Four Tarot. What are the energies between them? Oof. Emperor. Whoa. All righty then. Got it. Show me the energies between Trina and the mind. Wow. Yeah, there's a lot of healing that's taking place and has to still take place in this connection. This isn't an overnight thing. This is a lot of things happening. And a lot of it really is big, universe-guided stuff. The Magician's here, and that's definitely that divine masculine energy that's about going and getting the job done. You know, this is an active energy, right? An energy of actually doing as opposed to, you know, planning. And it is someone who, I think what it's saying in this connection is there's a lot of action happening on an energetic level, and it's moving things forward. I mean, from the before, you've got the Emperor, which suggests, again, that a lot of someone coming into their divine masculine in a very sort of solid way, some stubborn energy and some resistance, but that all gets worked out in the wash anyway. That's part of the, you know, that's part of the challenge and part of what has to happen anyway here. And so I think that's just to be understood. This person is going to be a real leader. If they're not already, your divine masculine is called to be a real leader, maybe even a healer himself, I think. I don't get that feeling very often when people claim someone as a divine masculine or twin soul, but I really feel that in this case, that there's a real leader and healer coming. And I think that's really special. I mean, you probably are both called to do that type of work, but especially this person's being called to sort of shepherd people, and I think that's really special. So, you know, the bigger the result, the harder and the more resistance and the more healing it can take to get there. And I felt a lot of that. Your new perspective is the four, or new vision is the Four of Swords, and that's that healing. There's a lot that has to take place, though, Trina. So, but you've also got in the After Tarot the World, and then a new beginning, that Ace of Pentacles. So you're on the cusp of a lot of big new beginning energy and things sort of cycles restarting or new cycles just beginning for the first time. But you know, it doesn't happen quickly. Like I said, when there's such immense healing that's got to take place. I think that's the card that, even though we had a major, this is the card that two majors with the Emperor and the Magician. This is the card that stands out to me the most, and it's about healing. And I feel that that's the big blockage, is just it's not time yet. You know, it's not time, and it's okay. People can't be ready on our time frame, right? They can be ready when they're ready. He's not ready. And so what you have to look at is within you what's not ready, because this is telling you about him, and you've got this divine masculine energy that's stepping in and doing its job. But what does that mean about your divine feminine energy and where you're at? Where do you need to go with that? That's where I would take it and address for now within you. Okay. Hey, Jai. Jai is here, guys. Follow those purple hearts if you don't already follow Channel for Grace. Trust me, you won't regret it. Rebecca, is Darcy here? Darcy, are you here? If not, Rebecca, you're up. Cool. Do it. Good luck with that. I love that, Trina. I think that's awesome. You're welcome. You're welcome. Thank you for allowing me to do it, to read for you. Yes, it would, my dear. So I'm going to do 2 cards for Chad and 2 cards for Mason. Show me the energy and the connection between Mason and Rebecca. Mason and the energy. Okay. Wow. What about Mason, though, in that? How does he, I see what he sees, but what's his? Okay. You know, yeah, I'm going to stop because this is really clear what Spirit's trying to say. So this is about Mason's perspective, first of all. Mason sees you as the Queen of Cups, okay? And that's not bad. In fact, I think it's a good thing about how it reflects to you, but it also tells you that there is a certain energy where this Mason sees you on a pedestal. And so just be aware of that. When it comes to Chad, you've got the 10 of Cups and the 6 of Cups. This is sometimes past life. This is someone that you've got that connection with that just goes through it cycles, you know, and it's never really ever gone. You guys could be not communicating at all and have gone in separate directions, but there's still that they're in your box of, like, if you're compartmentalizing life, they're in that box of people who matter to you and always will. And this has got to come around again for another cycle. So it's a good one too. The 10 of Cups, or the potential is there, at least that's the energy. So just keep that in mind. You're also being called to be sort of the Queen of Swords when it comes to that connection, because that obviously is, you know, not where, well, I don't know where it is. Apparently it's not there yet, because if you anyone who has the 10 of Cups and the 6 of Cups isn't getting readings or asking about that stuff, right? So just know, okay? And Mason sees you as completion, the world. It can represent completion. It can also represent a completion that leads to something else. So there's a lot of, I mean, you've got 10 of Cups on one side and then the world on the other. There's a lot of long-term energy on both. But with Mason, the Queen of Cups, that's someone who almost sees you as out of reach in a way. And with that world card, I'm wondering, the feeling that I'm getting from it is that it's about completing a cycle to do something else or to do something together. But what it could be where you're at is having to complete in order for this to happen. The 10 of Cups, though, and the 10 of Cups energy could also mean that that's how somebody sees the connection, because there's a lot of, what I asked was, for some reason, the way the cards came out for you when I asked is, it's a lot of their vision on you, how they see you, like Queen of Cups came out, Queen of Swords. So when it comes to the way Chad sees you, that's the vision. I definitely feel like with the world, I mean, that's the major arcana here. So that's what you're looking at as far as when it comes to like, where are things going to go? Mason's going to be something that has to do with a completion or with, or is your completion. So there's a lot of hope in both of them, but if they feel different. One feels so young and innocent, and the other feels much more mature and sort of harder to grasp or to reach for. But they're all good energies. I think with the Queen of Cups, be careful with this Queen of Cups as not getting too sort of focused in or obsessed with the connection when it comes to either one of them, because when you do that, it can kill it, right? Like I said, and this is the only Queen of Cups I feel this way about, is the Rider-Waite deck, but it feels like it's looking like an urn that holds ashes to me, like someone has just focused so much on something that it just wipes it right out. And I know that can happen. As an addict, someone who has addiction issues, people who have addiction issues, it's not just drugs. We can become addicted to anything, relationship, people, anything, foods. It's not just a specific thing, right? Or a substance. And so we have to be always careful to rein ourselves in and pull ourselves back when we make something big. It can be a talent to be able to become that sort of like a sponge for something where you soak things in, and it can allow you to, become very good. That's why a lot of famous actors, actresses, athletes, people in the spotlight that are the best at their whatever are often struggling with substance abuse or addiction issues, because that's part of what makes them able to be the best at what they do, because they have that kind of personality that just soaks everything in like a sponge when they have an interest in it. So it's a good thing and a bad thing. There's that thing with the Queen of Cups. Be careful to keep balance here for both of these connections. But yeah, I think that there's definitely that maturity issue, and they both have the potential. A lot of this is for you to decide. You're definitely, with that Queen of Swords coming out, though, also, you're being called to really focus on the signs and synchronicities and where they're leading you to, and not get stuck in anything stagnant that's not moving you forward. Because the whole name of the game for you right now is moving forward, Rebecca. Don't forget that. Thank you very much. Okay, Joan, you're up. We got just a couple people left on the list. If anyone wants to get added to the list, Cash App, $RayofLightTarot, $25.25. And don't forget, the Map of Destiny, What Makes You Magic readings are on special right now. If you pay via Cash App, it's only $90. So really good special. Hey, Michael Maz, good to see you. So happy to be in light. Oh, I'm glad you're in lighter energy too. Glad I am. Asking what my guides need me. I think a lot of people have been going through what I was describing. A lot of people are coming out of that. What does Joan most need to know right now about the future and what's coming toward her? We've got Stephanie P, and then Aaron are next, and Darcy's still on the list. If Darcy comes back in, you're on the list, Darcy. You're at a really cool time, Joan, where you're going to be bringing in things with your your thoughts. Wow, love. 2 of Cups, 9 of Cups, wish fulfillment. Nice. Someone's transforming in your life from the 7 of Swords to the King of Pentacles and the Magician. Divine masculine energy. It's really special. You've got the 9 of Cups, which is that wish fulfillment. You've got the 2 of Cups, which does represent a reciprocal soulmate connection that's very equal give and take, very loving, very reliable, especially with the King of Pentacles energy. There's a transformation taking place. This could be in your life, or it could be someone new that's going through this transformation themselves. It's hard to really say. Someone's going from an energy of deception. The 7 of Swords is deception. Can be self-deception. It's a deception nonetheless of some kind. And they're moving toward this King of Pentacles energy, which is so stable and reliable and strong. And it's all about this divine masculine energy sort of taking hold in this person as their spiritual awakening really becomes part of a transformation. That divine masculine energy is like no other. I know we hear a lot of divine feminines complain about what the divine masculine does and how they can be so closed off and avoidant. But that's because their journey is different, and what the way they get to where they need to get is different. But when they get there, it's lit. It's really lit up, and it's fire, because this person is really on a growth path. So you've got a King of Pentacles coming in for you, and it's a huge transformation for this person. I don't know what they're going through now, and I don't know if this is someone new or him that you mentioned from your past, but it doesn't really matter, because what it is someone perfect for you. And that's the beautiful part. And it's someone who's going through such a growth that it's just beautiful. And I think it's so important for you to remember that that's happening. 9 of Cups. Yeah, the list is open. Thanks, Rebecca. 9 of Cups, right? That's the wish fulfillment. And you can't manifest a person. We all know that. but you can manifest the right circumstances. You can manifest yourself to be receptive to whatever you're looking for, right? And sort of leave the rest up to fate, the universe, to what's destined. And that's where you're at. And you're being called to really focus on wish fulfillment. It's hard sometimes to do that when we're feeling broken and we're feeling heartbroken, especially, and let down and, disappointed and, thrown away. Sometimes you can feel thrown away. I know I've felt that way before, but that's not real. Nobody can throw you away. And why would anyone throw you away, right? That's fear and other things. Exactly. You've got to let all that go and focus on wish fulfillment coming your way and what wish fulfillment feels like, regardless of any other people. What does it feel like to have your wishes coming true and the right circumstances? You're right on the cusp of just bringing that all in, and I love that for you. 2020, here we go. All right. Thank you, Joan. Stephanie P, you're up, Stephanie P. What's up, Stephanie P? It feels good too. Those cards feel really good for you. And the person that's coming in feels good too. And that can also be in business too. When I see the King of Pentacles, it can also be that represents taking on masculine energy in business. But the Two of Cups definitely brings the slant of wish fulfillment and romance. But you can bring a lot of this into what you want it to be when it comes to anything besides a person. That wish fulfillment's there for you. I train twin flames for their abilities for free if you like. Oh, Deline, that's sweet. Guys, I really appreciate not advertising though in my chat. It's not that I have a problem with anybody doing that, but I don't want to get confused where people are saying, hey, Jason sent me to you from wherever, and because I don't really do that. And Jai, because we work together all the time, but I just don't want to be confused or have anything like that. So, but yeah, I appreciate what you do, Deline. Thanks for what? Melinda, I don't know what you mean. But I don't know if you asked if the list is open. Yes, Melinda, the list is still open. Somebody asked that. No, it's okay. It's okay, Deline. I know you're not charging. You're just trying to grow. All right. So I will find a new love. Good luck, Jill. Okay, I will find a new love. What do you mean, Jill? Yeah, Stephanie, you're next. And then if Stephanie's not here, we're going to have Aaron. Sometimes the lag starts over if I go to check something. So it usually works for everyone, leaving and coming back. Aaron, it's funny, you and Karen, I don't know if you guys are using the same phone. You both have the same issues too with the viewing. Are you guys friends? What messages regards to Cancer? My heart is so heavy. Yeah, well, I had it colored, so we bleached it and then toned it, so it's pretty light, kind of almost silver anyway. It's like blondish silver. But yeah, I do have the silver wax on top. No need to keep it going, Deline. Like I said, it's not about you poaching clientele. I never said anything about that. I just don't like anyone to advertise in my chat because it's just, I don't do that in other people's chats. It just feels weird to me. But you are forgiven. Moving on. What is the Cancer story and what she needs to know at this time, Stephanie? Oh, Stephanie, what's going on here? You're talking about the disease of Cancer, I guess. For some reason, at first, just in my monkey mind, I thought you were talking about the sign of Cancer and the full moon that we just had in Cancer. Listen, a couple things. You, and whether it's you or anyone around you whose health is being negatively affected, the way this disease is affecting you is you've got the Nine of Swords and the Two of Swords, right? These are the new vision cards. So it's really important to find what works for you. I don't know. I don't care if it's ballet class, tap dancing, grounding, swimming, surfing, whatever. Medication, whatever works for you, whatever modality brings you inner peace, that's the most important thing right now, because all these swords represent what's going on in your mind, and that can kill you. I mean, let's be real, guys. Diseases, whether it's ourself or someone we are close to who's battling a disease or anything in between, are deadly. But what's just as deadly is our thoughts. Our thoughts create our reality, creates our this, creates our that. And so the only thing we're in control of, first, foremost, and at the end of the day, is our thoughts and how we choose to perceive things. And this represents having to clear those thoughts up. It's not easy because habits are hard to break, and thoughts are an interesting habit form that we engage in. But it's so important, and it's worth the effort. It just requires a lot of practice when you find yourself feeling a certain way, to address what you're thinking about that's causing you to feel that way and how to shift that perspective. Usually you can't stop thinking about the thing you're thinking about, but you can shift your perspective about it and try to find the silver lining, try to find the gratitude. And that's not fun to do. It's not an easy thing to do, but it works. I've done it. I've been doing it for a little while now in my life, and it really does work. I can tell you that. The Seven of Pentacles suggests that as far as the physical things, the 3D, there's not a lot for you to be worrying about or doing. It's sort of out of your control. You're kind of supposed to just sort of follow the steps, like just see what's being offered and told to you, and let it flow the way you're being told to flow. So a lot of this burden, because you've also got the Ten of Wands, all this burden, look at this. I mean, that's a lot. A lot of this is about, you can't escape whatever cycle you're in if you're in it, right? If it's not over yet, but it's so heavy and it's so alarming and frustrating that you've got to find a way to mentally escape it, right? And that's all, the thing about like depression is there's sort of a stupid joke about it. I don't like the joke, but it's kind of true too. The thing about depression is it's all in your head. And there's a double meaning to that. Like, right, it's a mental health issue. So it's in your head, but also it is in your head. Like, we create a lot of it, and sometimes it's clinical and it requires medication and therapy to deal with it. And sometimes some aspects of it, well, always some aspect of it, come from us choosing new thoughts. A gratitude journal has been medically researched and proven to improve people's happiness by 10% or 15% after keeping a gratitude journal for only 30 days. That one thing can make a difference in your health, right? So try those kind of things, because for the most part, this is out of your control. I don't know if it's you or not. It feels like if it is you, there's also someone around you that's suffering in some way. Well, everyone suffers when there's cancer or any illness. There is someone who comes in as the Knight of Wands, and it's not because they're unreliable. It's because they're going to come in unexpectedly, and they're going to be a real bright spot in your life. So be open to that. Try not to push people away right now. This is a time to really let people in and be receptive to people coming in that want to be there for you and help you and be a light in your life. Okay, so be aware of that. That's a really good thing. You've also got the Eight of Cups, which does represent the need to sort of walk away from things that maybe didn't turn out the way that you had hoped or wanted. But just trust that where you're at is where you're supposed to be. Where we're at is not always where we want to be, especially when we're dealing with really heavy topics and difficult things. But it is where we're supposed to be. And there's always a silver lining and a light at the end of the tunnel. And the more we spend time we spend focused on that than on the bad stuff, it's just more time to put in the bank. It's like a savings bank account. So that's the best I can tell you. I do see some good outcomes here because of the Seven of Pentacles. So does that mean that there's going to be a 100% recovery from, disease and everyone's going to be perfect? No, that's not reality. But the Seven of Pentacles does say whatever's been put in, there's justice coming through. So it should at the very least alleviate your concerns as far as thinking you can do something or should be doing something. It's already been done. And a big part of this is going to be finding joy. I watched someone on Oprah's Super Soul Sunday who survived, I think it was stage 4 leukemia, by completely having a spiritual transformation. They're still sick. They still have the disease and they're still terminal, but they're not suffering any symptoms, and they've been living, I think, like a year or two longer than ever given any prognosis. I can't remember the name of the person. If anyone knows it or is familiar with what I'm talking about, mention it in the chat. But it's really an amazing story, and her sort of secret to what she did was just beautiful, just amazing. We're all going through things for a reason, and I think, like she said, part of why she went through what she went through was to be able to help other people with her story and help other people suffering to find that light and to change their lives. So I wish you the best, though, Stephanie, and I'm so sorry for whoever is suffering in your life. Aaron, you're up. You ready, Aaron? I know you had mentioned something when you put the question up earlier about you wanted to know why someone, hey, Stacy, nice to see you. You wanted to know why someone, your DM or someone could hear, like always knew certain things. So I'm not sure if that's what you're asking about. Okay, Melinda, let me get you on the list. There's no one else on the list. So Melinda, you'll be next after Aaron. Also, if Darcy is here, does anyone know where Darcy went? That was weird. She was the first person to pay tonight. That's why she was second on the list. So go ahead and put your question up again if you are here, Aaron. Actually, she probably won't hear this until by the time I could do another one. So Melinda, if you want to put your question up, and then by the time Aaron hears this, it'll be time for her to get her question answered. Go ahead and do yours, Melinda. List is still open too. If anyone wants to get on it now that we're getting toward the end, if anyone wants to get on the list, you are welcome to. And don't forget that if you want to get on that Map of Destiny list too, it's a $90 Cash App payment. And should have that done in about a 48-hour turnaround. We're getting caught up now. I'm getting the last few readings, personals that I was behind on done tonight, tomorrow, and the next day. I'm a bit worried about my DM. He said suicidal thoughts lately, and he says he is okay right now, wondering how he's feeling and how. Okay. Yeah, the list is open, Lynette. You have to pay via Cash App, though. $25.25. All right, let's see. I'm going to just pull from, instead of doing what I was doing for this, I'm going to pull from my Arcanum deck a few cards. I feel like that's where the answer is. What does Melinda need to know about her divine masculine and what's going on in that situation with him? His mental and emotional state and well-being. Some dark energy, guys. Like I was telling Joan, I think a lot of people are either in that or coming out of that right now. Really. Four of Cups. And that's not about your connection. So, well, it is about your connection. It's about more than just your connection. It's about a feeling of sort of being closed off, generally speaking, to life. Like not feeling things, not receiving the energy. The Emperor's here as well, which is divine masculine energy, but it's that energy of like digging their heels in the sand. You're being called to, again, this Seven of Pentacles is always about knowing that there isn't any, you said like you're not really sure how to handle it. There isn't any handling it for you. The handling it for you is energetically sending love, light, healing, white light, and being there if you're reached out to for help, but not pushing, not doing anything different than you would normally do. This is really important. When you see this card like this, Spirit is saying it's not time to pick those pentacles. And the more, listen, I have tried and tried, especially in a twin soul thing. It's so hard not to try because you can feel the other person at times, right? But when you do that, you don't get what you want as a result. When you try to push something or make it happen when it's not time, like it's so much. It's not like I'm suggesting people don't do. Trust me, hand to God, you don't want to do that. You will not get the result you want. And I mean, I don't know how many times myself or other people in that connection have to go and try to push something or try to get something or try to be in charge and force something. You just don't get the result you want. You get the opposite if it's not time. So it's all about, especially for control freaks such as myself, it's all about learning to take your hand off the wheel. It's like that song, Jesus Take the Wheel. Well, Jesus already has the wheel. So you trying to take it does nobody any good. It just makes a whole mess and a crash. The Seven of Cups, there's a lot of, it's not that he's not feeling emotions. He's feeling too many emotions and they're way too up and down. A lot of this is is it okay to just send a small check-in text? I think that's something you have to check with yourself about. Because to me, like, I don't see anything that says don't reach out to this person or it's not okay to check on them. What I'm getting from the message I'm getting that is coming through really strong, though, is if you've been feeling like, this means you need to help them or you need to handle something or you need to try to fix something, go against that grain, because I get a very strong, that's not the answer. And the less you try to do anything, the better. Yeah, I think it's okay to always send love, send light, be supportive, be there especially when it's asked for. But I would ask myself before sending any messages, does this person have any doubt how much I love them and how much I'd be willing to do for them if they asked? And if the answer is no, of course I know that they already know. Do you need to send the check-in text? You know what I mean? Like, what are you really doing by sending the check-in text? Just always ask yourself that before doing it. I think with the Emperor here, there's definitely a good sign. I get a feeling that although there is all this sort of overwhelmed emotions and a lot of disconnection and detachment from some emotions, there's a definite coming to his own with this divine masculine energy. And although it has its bad sides, this can only be a good thing. It's kind of like that idea that everything happens for a reason. This tough stuff, it's happening for the good, for the better good, and it is leading to beautiful things. It's just a matter of kind of trying to be patient and wade through this energy. And again, with that Seven of Pentacles, it's kind of saying, yeah, you've got your basket. Spirit knows you're waiting to pick these ripe fruits off the tree. They're just not ripe yet. So that's right, they do. People do. And the thing about committing suicide is I always think it's so sad, people that blame, and this is the disclaimer I want to put up, because I'm not suicidal, but I have had times where I felt very hopeless recently. If you download Cash App, guys, and you list me as the referral, you'll get $5 back and I get $5. It's a great app. It's better than, I think, most of those type of apps. Venmo, Square, whatever Square. So I suggest downloading Cash App if you, would like to get added to the list. Okay, so also, yeah, Melinda, when it comes to suicide, I would say the thing is, it's never something that you can prevent. It's really not. And no one should ever blame themselves when someone does that and think, oh, I should have done this, I should have done that. If someone commits suicide, even if you were maybe not only negligent, but if you were cruel to that person before they hurt themselves, it's still not your fault that they did that. Like, if you're hopeless, you're hopeless. And no one can provide you hope but yourself and your connection. And they can maybe a false sense, but really not. But I think it's fine to check on this person, especially if you know they're suffering and you just feel like you would do it for anyone you love and they need a helping hand. There's nothing wrong with that. Just like I said, always check your intentions and expectations before doing it. That's always the best policy. You know what I mean? Erin, are you ready? Certainly she's got to have heard by now. Do you have your question, Erin, you want to ask? Did anyone see Erin's question? I guess I can just go ahead and answer it because she's on a wacky delay. And I can't wait around too long. Oh, if you're in the UK, you can donate to the super chat if you'd like instead. Okay, where is it? It's gone. I think she put it up while I was doing a reading and someone had to delete it for me, either one of my moderators. So, Jason, did my donation come through? If you sent it, it came through. You can go ahead with your question, Michael Maz. What's your question? And yeah, whoever just asked that's in the UK, if you want to get on the list, you can just donate to Super Chat here, $25.25. Same thing. We won't up it here. Starting to actually have a dating life, but don't want to repeat old patterns and need clarity. Okay. What does Michael most need to know at this time regarding his dating life? Oh, I need to get more water. Yeah, if anyone's trying to download Cash App or having problems in the US, or anyone else wants to get on the list, after I do this question, Aaron, Darcy, if you guys, I'm going to come back probably in about 20 minutes or so after I stop for anyone who missed. So if you see this, come back in 20 minutes and we'll try to get you on. Because I've got some other readings I'm going to do as well tonight, generals. I'm going to try to get up. Show me what Michael needs to know at this time. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you, Source. Interesting. Okay. Wow, this is really nice. So when it comes to dating, you are apparently like me, which is very rare. Usually a man is the divine masculine and a woman is the divine feminine. It usually does work that way. Not always, but usually that's the case, generally speaking. Obviously in gay relationships, there's not going to be two divine masculines and two divine feminines, because spiritually, what comes together romantically is always that energies. Has nothing to do with your gender. Now, you are showing as a divine feminine, which is how I would identify as well on the spiritual over soul level. You've got the high priestess here that's saying a lot of your success in dating is going to come from staying centered, embracing your divine feminine energy, your intuition, and your connection to source. All of that stuff is going to give you an advantage in dating, because you will always be able to, if you lead with that, see the right thing to do. There's been an issue in the past with deception. Could be self-deception as well, especially in dating. So you need to be careful of that. A lot of times when we cast out, I shouldn't say cast out, but it is. It's like how in like the Bible, when it talks about casting out demons, it says a demon is cast out and a person is well for a time, and then that demon or whatever goes out and roams the desert for a time, gathers 7 other demons and brings them all back and attacks the person even harder the next time. The reason that story makes sense to me is it's telling you when you're in a place of awareness and the demon, quote unquote demon, is gone, that's the time you need to grow and strengthen yourself, because you're going to get tested and attacked again later on, even harder. And so there's some kind of deception that you've experienced that could have hurt you, or also self-deception that's going to be an issue that you want to be prepared to be tested by, and always stay clear and aware, because you've got wish fulfillment here with the 9 of Cups. That means the dating outlook is not just good, it's great. You've got the potential for a wish coming true, a long lifetime wish, and someone's showing as the Knight of Cups in your life. This is someone coming in that really wants to offer you love sincerely, and that sees you as the Queen of Pentacles, which is an energy of being very abundant, stable, reliable, and honest. All of those are good qualities. It's earthy energy. But it's also very attractive too. It's not just like Mr. Accountant boring. It's very strong energy, but it's very attractive as well, in a very passionate way. This 9 of Cups is a great card for the overall energy though, Michael, suggesting that there's a wish coming true, and it may be a wish you forgot. Sometimes we experience so much pain and heartbreak in relationships that we forget what we set out for when we were younger. And you may need to go back to being 10 years old, 12 years old, and think of the things you dreamed of. What relationship was perfect in your eyes, what marriage you had in mind. That's what's being presented to you as an opportunity, okay? Something that you may have even forgotten about. And that wish, you can't have that wish come true or know about it until you are clear on it. And so it's most important is this High Priestess energy. That's the major arcana here. And it's just a really important message of staying connected. And if you're not connected, get connected again. Because that's a great gift that the Divine Feminine has, is that gift of intuitive wisdom and connection and being able to feel her way through things, his way or her way through things. And that's your gift, and that's your sort of ticket to wish fulfillment. So look for it, okay? Thank you, Michael. Good luck in this, whoever this Knight of Cups is. It looks good, feels good. Is anyone else here? Is Aaron here? Last call for Aaron, if Aaron is still here. If you're not, Aaron, Karen, or Aaron, and Darcy, I'm going to be back I'll just come back on in 20 minutes or so and see if we can get your questions then. If anyone else wants to get added to the list between now and then, Cash App, $ Ray of Light Tarot, Cash App, $ Ray of Light Tarot, all one word. And don't forget, guys, that Map of Destiny reading is on special, and that's a really good deal. It's like half price almost. So it's like $60 off. So that's pretty good. It's $90 right now if you pay through Cash App. So do it. All right. That's what's up. Thank you guys for participating tonight. I will see you guys soon. I'm getting general readings up later tonight and tomorrow and over the next few days. So they'll be coming up. So be on the lookout for those. Okay, guys. Love you, mean it. Bye, guys. Thank you for your help, Rebecca.